Ty, it is an absolute honour to be sat beside you.
Thank you. It's an honour to be sat beside you too as well.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Look, you're most known for talking about Arsenal and football in general on camera.
Yeah. Lucky to be known at all, but yeah.
Oh. But look, me and my friend Sam, we wanted to use this opportunity to get to know you and the person behind the camera a little bit more. Because everyone that I've come across, that's come across you and met you in person, has described you as the nicest man you'll
that's
ever
very
meet.
kind. That's very nice.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I'm going to start crying soon. So, but it makes me feel very humbled, very honoured, very flattered, very privileged. And most of all, it feels very surreal. Yeah.
You haven't really done much on camera outside of Arsenal and football in general. Any particular reason?
Really. Because I like to keep my things private. You know what I mean? Because it's so funny is that when people talk about me, I think I've had it on channels that I've been on. I'm lucky enough to be on. They said, "Oh, we know about you." I said, "You don't know about me. You only know about what I talk about. You don't know the person." I just want to keep it away from me, because football's one thing, me and my family is another thing, and I don't want anything get into. It's bad enough getting to me, but get to my family. So you know what I mean? Because what it is, what I will say though, is what I find very, very strange is that there used to be some man who used to imitate me, and people used to think it's me. And he was from America. I met him, and I told him to stop doing it. He imitated
Spike Lee.
Huh?
Spike Lee?
Not Spike Lee. I can see why you're not on stage, but no, not Spike Lee. Boy, I wish he was Spike Lee, because boy, then I could get some money, hopefully.
Who was it? What was he saying?
He was pretending to be me, and people thought it was me. He's actually speaking with people, and
but
he was a man in America.
Just the voice, or he looked a bit like you too?
He had a whole account and put my face on it, and people actually thought it was me. I used to say, "No, it's not me." I keep on, and they didn't believe me. They thought I was lying. Even so much so that one time he said, he was saying, I've got 2 FA Cup final tickets.
What?
Yeah, and people used to think it was me. Can you imagine? I said, "No, it's not me." That's how bad it was, the imitation. And
so that's why you keep it private?
Absolutely. And he even knew about my family, which I don't know how he knew. That's why I never talk about. I think the most I talk about is my dad, God rest his soul, and my twin brother. But I don't talk about anybody. So I don't know how he knew about my family members. That's what I mean. Because I know, I've seen it before, that if you say too much about your family, the people that want to get at you will use your family. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I've seen, that's why I don't ever think. There's been things. What is it? I was lucky enough to do a watch along the other day. Somebody, a few weeks ago, and somebody was saying, I saw Ty stealing in one of those shops. I said, don't slander me, because I'll take you to court. That's what I'm saying. But people believe it, and they said, who's the lawyer in your family? I said, me, because I know the law. And there was another one when they said that, what is it? The lovely, I think it's Natasha Daly and lovely Millie Bright. They were talking about a football Tinder thing. Obviously, other dating websites are available. And they said, Ty's profile match mine. I said, I'm not on any dating websites. That's what I'm saying. People will lie about me, and people will believe it. That's why I don't say anything.
Do you know what I think it is? And I'm sure we can discuss this later.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that you're an easy target, because you're not. You stand your own ground and you're a strong person. But I think that people often mistake your kindness as a weakness.
Well, absolutely. Well, that's kind. Yeah, well, absolutely. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And the thing is, listen, I'm very, very lucky. I'm very flattered. I'm very honoured. I'm very humbled to be in this position. And I will always give people my time, because I'm not anybody to give. But what I won't accept is disrespect and rudeness. I won't accept it, because I think when I'll stop and have a conversation with people at any time. I will. But I think people see me stopping and think, he's just an idiot, I could start insulting him. And I won't take that.
I always liked that in your videos you didn't like swearing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because that football swearing is so prevalent, and I loved that you would be like, "Why are you swearing at me?" Because I love that so much. Because everyone uses every other word is an effing and blinding at football.
Absolutely, and people don't understand that. But the thing is, with football, for me, if I get on my soapbox, it seems like, because of where I sit right next to the away fans. It seems like you can act anyhow, you can swear, but it's all banter. It's not all banter. Why can't we be at football and football behave? If you know the amount of people that before I was on AFTV are looking at me, I'm watching the game, they're looking at me, what's he doing? I'm watching the game, that's what I've come for. Or now, I can't tell you, funny thing is, what it is with me, and I always laugh, is that whenever they call me, they try to call me, I can hear everything, I pretend I can't hear anything, but I hear everything. They're saying, tight. They're calling me when the game is on. I thought you came to watch the team, did you come to watch me? Can you imagine? It's unbelievable, but I'm there predominantly to watch the game, but also, I think in football, it's all right. It's all right to act. I won't say like a hooligan. It's all right to act in a way that I think is, if I use a big word, undignified. Why can't you behave? Why do you have to swear? What's all but insulting people? Why?
It does just bring it out of people.
It does, and this is what I'm saying. But that then is still I don't know. It may be to do with drink. It's a wrong thing.
I like a swear word. Can I just put it out there?
No, Matthew, you can, but you strike me as a sensible fan. There is people who just will talk absolute, not only away from us as well, absolute nonsense. And I'm wondering, are you there to talk nonsense or are you there to watch the game?
Would you have? Did you boo Adebayor?
No, I've only.
He deserved the boo.
Possibly did, but I didn't. The only person I booed and I would boo again was Ryan Shawcross because he broke Aaron's leg. I don't have time for that. I can understand. And Emmanuel was very, very silly what he did, but I rather would conserve my energy for getting behind it. I don't have time for that nonsense. I don't.
Yeah. Okay, so this actually leads me on to my next topic. I know you were talking about how you're quite private with your family.
Yeah.
But it does seem like your family's given you a lot of education in terms of how to go about yourself, in terms of not swearing.
100%.
So is that the way that you were brought up? Were you brought up to be this polite, optimistic, humble guy? Or did that just sort of happen?
That's kind. Oh, wow. I can't take any credit for that. I think I've been very fortunate. But like I say, I'm lucky enough to be very, very blessed. Had a very, very good upbringing, and not taught right from wrong, and just allowed me and my family, I'll say that, I won't mention, to express ourselves. But I knew what was right, I knew what was wrong. And I imagine going to school and seeing some people do that. I thought, that's wrong. And I thought, no, that's not for me. People can do what they want.
What were they doing?
Well, swearing and doing nonsense, in which you do in school. But I thought, that's not for me, because I've always got the upbringing. I'm always told at home, behave, don't do this, don't do that, you know what I mean? And I thought, I thought that's cool. I could see the norm. I'm thinking, I don't agree in behaving like that. And I thought, listen, if you are a nice person, there's nothing wrong with manners, being polite, being respectful. Because I like being that person when I can be polite, friendly, and cheerful. I like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do like that. I like to be like that.
Did that come from your mum or your dad or both?
Well, both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah. And my family in general. But they taught me a lot about that. They taught me a lot about.
You got a twin brother?
I have got a twin brother. Yeah. And he was a gooner before me.
Was he?
Yes, he was a gooner before me.
How does that work? You're the same age.
And my dad. Yeah. But
a gooner 7 minutes.
Yeah. But I think he was a gooner before me. I became a gooner at 7 years old. And I remember waking up one day in our bedroom that we used to share and saying, I support Arsenal. Now, he had Arsenal sports posters on it. And my dad, God rest his soul, was a gooner from Nigeria. Wow. So they were before me. And so I said, I support Arsenal now. And I never went back. But where I credit my dad for the history, and I can't take the credit for knowing about history. He sat me down and taught me about the 1970-71 double team. And he also showed me how important it is to know about history. And that's what I took on.
How old are you, sorry?
55.
55. So you started getting into the early 70s or mid 70s?
Well, yeah, so that'd be 77, isn't it?
Chippy Brady, was that your hero back then?
Yeah, I suppose so, but I wasn't. The thing is, I didn't really go properly till about 91, 92. I think I went to one game, me with my dad and my brother when we were about 8, I think, and wow. we won 1-0 against Leicester City, if I can remember, at home.
Unbelievable.
And unbelievably lucky. And Alan Sunderland scored the winner. And I used to think, because I used to watch football on TV, I used to think that, the commentators were about the game, so I was disappointed to hear no commentary. And then I remember I shouted myself to sleep. My dad told me that they could hear me shouting on the TV. But I fell asleep because I was so tired, because I tired myself out, because I was so excited to go, So, was it Alan Sunderland that scored the winner against Man United in the FA Cup, or was that Super Mac? Was that Malcolm McDonald? No, that was Alan Sunderland. That's right, that's Alan Sunderland. Yeah. Just checking my knowledge. Just refresh. Okay, so that's interesting. So your twin brother is the one that, your dad. He was a gooner before me. Yeah, my dad. My dad first, my twin brother, then me. Who was your hero? Like, who influenced you to properly love this football club, which you obviously do? Well, you got. I think one of the big legends was Ian, right? Incredible, and I would say to the thing, to see a black man at Arsenal doing that was massive, absolutely massive. He was such a big draw, you know. And we as a family, I would say, aligned ourselves with that because he was doing bits. But even so, but when he did leave, unfortunately, I was too into the club. Because if I wasn't into the club, I thought, oh, Ian's not playing for them anymore, for us anymore. I might not go. But he was such a big thing as well, you know.
Well, you talk about black people playing for Arsenal. Arsene Wenger. Well, we're going to get a bit off track here, but Arsene Wenger, the first manager to field 9 black players in a Premier League side.
Yes, amazing, incredible.
Completely revolutionised football and made it clear that anyone can play for this football club. And
absolutely, regardless of race. Absolutely incredible. Didn't, you know what I mean? You could, you know, the Invincible team, you know what I mean?
25th of November 2012.
Yeah.
Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. Yeah, a game that 99% of Arsenal fans would have forgotten, but that game changed the whole trajectory of your life.
Well, absolutely, and also with that, I can remember I think it was a cold freezing, and I think Vas Abu Diaby hit the post.
I remember that.
Yeah, amazing and incredible. I'm very, very fortunate. I always say it's like anything. If you are lucky to achieve something, it's just luck, fortune. Like I said, I don't want to be too religious. I thank Allah, God. I thank my parents. Because if I'm not born, I can't do it. But also, I was very fortunate in the fact that I wanted to go to games, because that game, Robbie, big up AFTV,
always.
And Tao were pushed our way. Now, it's only because we were on the coach then. Because if we weren't, it would probably be someone else. Yeah. And we might be looking at them thinking, I wish that was me, possibly. But they were pushed our way. So, because we always used to argue. You know what I'm talking about. We always used to argue all the time. We used to argue when we used to get there. We used to argue on the coach. We used to argue at the service station. We used to argue at the ground. We used to argue at half time. And we used to argue on the way home. And
we were rubbish then. So you must have had to do a lot of arguing.
No, but well, I would never call us rubbish. I would just say not as good. But what is with me, Matthew, is that the thing is, listen, I know my stuff, so I can always defend the team. So when people always have shots, I'm always ready for them, and they don't seem to like that. Because when I argue with people, they say, it's like, for example, Raul, big up Raul, Real Madrid. He tried to tell me, Real Madrid, a big club. I said, what did you do 100 years ago? He couldn't tell me. So
Raul said that?
No, I said to Raul, what did you do 100 years ago? He didn't know.
The player, Raul?
No, Raul, no. The Galacticos. No, one of the Real Madrid fans.
Okay.
Because we had a head-to-head when we beat them.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And I said, what did you do 100 years ago? He said, he didn't know. I said, well, then you can't say you're better than them. You tell me, because I know our first ever trophy was the FA Cup. That's what I mean. I know what we won in the 1930s. I know that we beat Liverpool in 1950, and I think Hapgood scored 2 goals. I know all this, but people always want to argue, and that's fine if you want to argue with me. But I would say, argue with me the whole way, or don't argue with me at all. And people don't like that, because people think, the common thing, sorry Matthew, I know I'm going on a bit. The common thing is that I wasn't born then. Was I born in 1930? But I know about the team. Yeah. Because I want to know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I want to know. And that's down to my dad, God rest his soul, before I start crying. Because he made me want to know and have that knowledge for the team. I can't believe I've got it, but he made me want to. And I think what it is when you've got thirst for knowledge for your football club, you just amazingly, incredibly, unbelievably memorize facts. You don't know where they come from, but they just seem to be stored in your lucky football brain.
Yeah. I think anywhere where you have an interest, your brain just clicks.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, passion, you're right. But I'm just talking about football. Yeah, no, it's true. It's passion.
So you were arguing on the bus, and then I think, did someone, probably Robbie, turn around and go, we're doing all this arguing, we might as well make some money from
No. Well, I don't think he did that. I think he got sent our way. The funny thing is, it's a big up AFTV. A lot of people want to go on there now, but in the beginning, basically people were telling Robbie and Tao to F off when they went to interviews. But now everybody wants to go on there. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So they were just sent our way, and I spoke to them. It's weird because when I see that now, I can't believe that's me, because without trying to be disrespectful,
you look the exact same.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is why I can't believe I'm thinking, am I living in a cryo chamber or something? Because I can't believe that's still me.
Yeah.
And I feel like crying because I'm very blessed to be able to look like that now. It's just unbelievable. I can't believe it. But like I said, I thank Allah God and I thank my parents for that.
Did you ever hear whispers that there was this Arsenal fan TV thing coming along, and there was a guy that's giving the Arsenal fans a voice of their opinion? You must have been so excited by that concept.
No, because I think back in the day, what I wanted to do back in the day, if I remember now, is I wanted to be on the football club radio station. That was my dream.
Okay.
But that didn't really materialise. So I didn't, because this was just new. I didn't know Robbie. This was just new, but you know, I wanted to talk.
So after that first interview, did you go home thinking this thing could have a bit of legs? This Arsenal Fan TV is a pretty good concept. Did you think? What I'm saying is basically, did you think that it could come to this? Did that come across your mind?
No, absolutely. If anyone had told me, I'll tell you the very, very surreal turning point. And like I said, I have to hold my head up. I'm going to start crying again. Is basically, I didn't know how big it was. Because the platform, you don't know how big the platform is because you're in it. But it's what you say outside. Until one time, I was on the, on the bridge. And there were some boys looking at me and said, all right. And he said, oh, can I have a picture of you? I was thinking, is he talking to me or am I on candid camera or what's going on?
What year is this? Is this years ago?
This was a couple of years after AFTV. Okay. And I didn't realise people even knew me. It was unbelievable. He said, can I have a picture of you? That was the first person that I said, you're talking to me? I couldn't believe it. So I still can't contemplate it now because it's a very surreal thing, very humbling thing to have people know who you are and want pictures with you. Yeah. It's just, I want to talk to you about football. It's a very surreal thing. Yeah. It's an unbelievable blessing.
It became a thing where, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about AFTV, but I know that it's a massive part of your life and you're also a massive part of it. And I don't think it would be...
Well, you're very kind, very fortunate to be
I don't think it would be where it is today without you.
That's very kind.
And many others, of course, but you're a massive part of that.
Well, thank you. Very kind.
You built up there's no real structure to it. It's sort of just, it's like a snowball effect.
Absolutely. Very good word. Very good word.
I suppose you sort of found yourself in a situation that you didn't plan to be in. You didn't plan for this to be what is presumably makes up most of your time.
Yeah, it does. Football is the most of my time. Yeah.
So how long into that sort of lifestyle did it take for you to realise that this is what I'm doing now? This is my occupation.
That's a great question. I think when me and Claude had our show, I think it was that, and AFTV got stewed on that. I think it was all that, and when it was getting bigger and all that, and people actually, I don't know what happened one time, but there was people that wanted to interview us. I can't remember what it was. I
remember you seeing you and Claude on some random shows at some point.
Yeah.
I remember you playing FIFA. That's fun. Right. You should have kept that up. That was hilarious.
Gosh. Well, you got a great memory. That was in their studio in Victoria. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be. Yeah, no, that was another one. I don't know what that was, but yeah, no, that was that one.
So that's because I grew up.
Yeah.
On you and Claude and Troops and everyone else. I grew up on that. I used to watch it.
Wow.
Every single. After every game, I'd go straight to yours, and I always loved your optimism. It annoyed me at times because I couldn't quite believe how optimistic you were.
Well, I tried to copy Sounds of Blackness. That was their song.
Optimistic. Yeah. The one that I love, and I watch it probably once every 3 months. Stoke 3-2.
Oh, Stoke! Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what? The funny thing is with that. Because there was one when we argued with Swansea. People were saying to me, quite flattering, oh, are you happy you went 5? I said, no, because we lost the game.
Yeah.
But the Stoke one was brilliant, because if I can paraphrase Claude, I won't say his accent, but he's saying that we lost to a pub team, which I think was absolute gold. It was brilliant. It was superb.
Yeah. A pub side.
Yeah, pub side, yeah.
We lost.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's the beauty of you as a.
Thank you.
You're just unapologetically yourself.
Well, absolutely, and I think I've had to be.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes, people are wondering. I get it, people are wondering where I've come from. I get it, but also people always. I'll say this, and like I said, I thank Allah, God, and my parents again. I'm fortunate. My name is very clean. But when your name is clean, people want to throw mud, hoping it sticks. It can't stick with me, but people are prepared to believe nonsense. I mean, if I embellish, I can tell you the weirdest thing I've heard. I heard one, online, somebody said that, I was at a party in Muswell and I bought cheese and onion crisps. Why would I bring cheese and onion crisps? Can you imagine? It's unbelievable.
What?
Yeah. Can you imagine? Hella's loving it. That's what I'm saying.
You'd hope the music wasn't too loud and you're in people's faces with the cheese and onion crisps.
If I'm going to a party, I'd assume why would I bring cheese and onion crisps?
How did that even come back round to you?
Because somebody said it. I saw because rarely I read comments. But somebody said that in the comments, and they said, "Oh, Ty was only interested in the Invincibles." You see what I mean? Because people are wondering where I've come from.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So, I wanted to talk about you and Claude's relationship, because that's what I loved the most. I loved seeing you two go at it.
Yeah, we did.
But knowing that, apart from the Arsenal arguments and the back and forths, you were obviously very conflicted with your views.
Yeah, we were.
There was nothing but respect between the both of you.
Of course. I think what it is because.
How did that friendship develop? Because I know you sat on coaches together.
Yeah, we did.
How did you sort of become like a bit of a duo?
Basically, I think I met him once. Yeah, that's right. I met him once. I don't think I've even told Helen this. I met him once. I was at a game. He was Invincibles, and he used to always have a go at Gilberto.
Gilberto?
Yes. Whoever's good. But Claude was like that. He would begrudgingly have a go at someone even though he's good. So, you know what I mean? And we used to just chat, and that's how it is. So when we got together, we knew each other was. Because I think he grew up near where I grew up.
Yeah.
You know? So.
And you just hit it off. You really enjoyed each other's company.
Well, yeah, we did. We were cool, but you know, we just argue a lot. But it was cool. He was very, very, very nice. Claude was very, very nice man. Very, very sincere. Yeah. Nice, humble, unassuming man. So he's really cool. And miss him a lot. And you know, I always still try to pay homage to him, because on his seat, even if someone sits there, I leave the Claude Cup medal, which we were lucky enough to win. I leave it on his seat, just in his memory. And I used to leave his funeral thing, his funeral montage on it. So, you know, just to still honour him.
He was a great man. He's someone that I came across and I was a massive fan of.
Yeah.
And when I met him for the first time, I basically melted in front of him. And I was just like, I love you, I love watching you. And he remembered my name from then on. And I saw him a year later. And he would say, "You're right, Matthew."
Yeah,
and like you said, he was so humble.
Yeah, that was cool.
I wish he could see Arsenal right now.
Oh no! Listen, if what we're doing now, he'll be doing cartwheels all around the studio now.
Yeah,
he would be absolutely. Because I don't like to, the saying, like a pig in. I'll leave it there. That's what he'd be like. That's what he'd be like. That's what he'd be like. Yeah. He'd be absolutely over the moon how we're doing, just like my dad would be, and hopefully he's looking down on us, you know.
Yeah, he was a wonderful human. I wanted to, because I don't know if you've ever discussed this, because Claude was seemingly such a massive part of your life and also your career.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it like when he moved on? How did that make you feel? Did you pause and have a think, like, do I want to continue what I'm doing, or did you want to make him proud, which you have?
Well, that's kind. Listen, it's still quite sad, you know.
Yeah.
It is quite sad. Listen, it was hard to move on in the fact, you know, we always used to be together and all that.
Yeah.
You know, it is part of life, but you know, I think I felt more sorry for his family, you know.
His daughter, so lovely.
You know, and you know, his dad and all that. I felt more sorry for them, really. It was hard, you know. I don't want to seem blasé, but I don't know. It's hard to move on. I couldn't believe that, you know, he wouldn't be coming back and all that.
Yeah.
You know, but I do believe his spirit lives. It was hard, and I wish he was still here with us now. It was difficult. It was difficult, and there's not a day when I won't think about him.
Yeah.
At football times, and I'll still honour him, you know.
Yeah.
And I just wish he was seeing that. You know what I mean? So it was hard. It was hard. I don't want to sound blasé. It was hard, but you know.
You're doing him proud, Ty.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
I mean that because
that's very kind. That's very kind.
You're carrying on the legacy of someone who was a really good friend of yours.
Yeah.
And you haven't changed at all.
Well, that's kind. That's kind.
That's all.
Kind. That's kind.
I wanted to bring you in because we bumped into Ty very briefly, and you said to him, tell him what you said to him. You didn't have too long to say much, but you said exactly what you needed to say.
I said to him something along the lines of, "You're truly the epitome of a fan in that you're always there when they're down, and like sort of that you're in the mud with them when they're down, and therefore you get to truly celebrate them on the up type thing."
Yeah.
Something like
something along those lines, which is bang on.
which is absolutely great.
But you weren't doing well at that time, so I said to you, when they're on the, it was more like a when they're on the up, you'll be the one that really gets to enjoy it the most. Which obviously now,
that's kind.
You're probably enjoying the football. I'm sure you always enjoy it. But.
Well, try to always enjoy it. But what I would say is that it's easier to support your team when they're winning. But when they're not winning, do you have the same energy? Because I've had people at games where losing, they said, "What are you clapping for?" I said, "I'm clapping for the team."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, so I can clap for the team and get behind them when they're winning, but when they're losing, I must be quite, I credit my dad for that again, because he taught me all about whatever is happening, always get behind the team, and I learned that from young, always defend the team. I learned that from him. Always
that was such a good dynamic, because many of the other main people on the Arsenal Fan TV roster were very bashful of the team.
Yeah.
So you were like such an interesting contrast. Yeah. It was like DT, Troops, Claude was also quite bashful of the team, which with your like duologues was quite good. But DT, they were very.
It was him versus all of them.
This guy's a dickhead, and this.
And then, which, like I said,
whereas you were like had a sort of uniqueness in the lineup of the Arsenal Fan TV.
Well, absolutely, and also. Absolutely, thank you. And also, I also think you have to be very respectful, because you're talking about people who have families. You've got to be very respectful. And I always say that if I'm not doing better than anyone, how can I ever have a go at somebody who's doing a lot better, who can do things I can only dream of? How can I ever have a go at them in any shape or form?
Yeah.
But I think what it was, in my opinion, and I'm not dissing Troops and all that, because Troops is unique. Troops and Claude is unique. I won't mention the other person for good reasons, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Troops and Claude negativity was fashionable. Now, I'm not saying they were jumping on the bandwagon, because that was their actual thoughts. But what it was is that what I saw is that because we were lucky enough to get notoriety for that, people would jump on the bandwagon, trying to jump on the bandwagon. Whereas Claude and Troops actually thought that, and I thought that. Yeah. But they would try to jump on the bandwagon. And I remember there was people who used to come up to me, saying, we agree with you, we think what you think, but they're too scared to say it. But I find that quite sad, because for me, like I said, I've been very lucky in the fact that I've been supporting the team a long time. I know my place in the club. I know my heart is in the club. And when my heart is in the club, nobody can intimidate me. Whereas there used to be people saying, what's Ty talking about? Nobody could tell me anything, because I got my heart in and when you got your heart in the club, you say exactly what you think. But at the same time, I am aware it doesn't matter how much they're getting paid. These players, people forget, are human beings. They have feelings.
100%.
So why are they getting insulted? We're not talking about religion. We're talking about football. Yeah. But then again, without trying to get on a soapbox, that is the overreaction again about football.
Football is what keeps this country going.
Absolutely, and I get that.
It's something that people turn to when they've got nothing else in their life. It's something that if someone is being misogynistically abused, they'll go to football, or racially abused, they'll go to football, because it distracts them from that. In that, it becomes far too tribal.
Absolutely, and I get that, and I love the tribalism, but there is a line that you must not cross, and I know that, but people seem to think it's even up to the songs. I'll even sing it, part of it. And Thomas Frank's mother. Yeah. People sing that. They think that's okay. That is terrible. What is his mother got to? That's what I mean.
Do you know what? I can't say. I mean, with that particular one, that might be a bit too far. But this is where me and you could potentially have a debate. But I think that the beauty of football is, yes, I agree, people take it too far. Yeah. But I think during that 90 minutes, unless you're genuinely being hateful towards someone and getting personal, I don't think there's anything wrong with a boo or a chant against someone.
As long as it's respectful. No, you are right, Matthew, but and that's the problem. And if I get on my soapbox, this is the problem why, if we was going to White Lane, you couldn't go like that. I never go to White Lane in colours, because they are very, very, and I'll say it, they can watch, I'm sure, because they seem to watch, they seem to not like us, but they watch everything we do. They're very hateful, they're very bitter, they're very jealous, they're very violent. And I want to know when it's going to be stopped, because it's very, 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 very ridiculous. The 3 times, funny enough, that we've beaten them, they have tried to start trouble on all of us. And big up Robbie, because Robbie's the only one That and maybe Lee pick up Lee.
I wouldn't want to fuck with Robbie. I reckon Robbie could have it.
No, he would because he used to be a boxer, so big him up. He's not a troublemaker, but what I'm saying that he would go there in no disguise. I go in disguise. You can't. I can't even recognize myself. But they don't. But they've tried to start troubles in the free times, and I think it's ridiculous. Even so much so that when I was there last season, I was there at White Hart Lane. Sorry to thing. I was there at White Hart Lane, just minding my own business, and I took my thing off. Colours of us talking. Yeah. And then I'm hello, this 4 minutes. I'm sure I must have told her this. And basically, I felt a flick. And you know when something flashes before your eyes, it'll happen in an instant. Some man, Tottenham fan, had flicked my ear. So I only had seconds. I was talking, and it's weird because you know sometimes you have out of body experiences.
You saw red.
Well, red in Arsenal, very good, very good. I just zoomed past and I smashed into his back and he fell over and he dropped his drinks. Yeah, he dropped his drinks and his friend grasped me up and then they stopped me, the police, and they said, what happened? I said, he flipped my head. They said, oh, no, you can't do that. I said, what if you can hit me? They took down my name and they took my, Hella's Laura, they took my date of birth and they took my ticket.
What do you mean you smashed into him like that?
Yeah, because he flipped my ear. Can you imagine? He had the guts. But what it was he thought, I wouldn't be too scared. Because I only had seconds. I said, because you know sometimes you wonder, is this really happen? So I only had seconds to think. But the thing about him, he was very, very silly because the thing is, I wouldn't do that. If I did that, I'm gone. He was stood when I ran outside because I smashed into him. Yeah. Well, how dare you? And just want to talk about the violence. You've got no right to touch anybody. How dare you?
Yeah, that's too far.
Do you see what I mean? And this is what happens to White Hart Lane.
It's not just Tottenham. This is a load of teams.
No, it's not. But I'm just talking about that because I think Tottenham is about the only place where I won't wear colours. I don't think they seem to take it seriously. When are the authorities, be it the Premier League, FA, UEFA, FIFA, going to do something? Because I remember Cardiff City and Swansea City used to have a problem. They used to bust each other in, so they didn't meet. They actually banned fans for seasons.
Same with Celtic Rangers.
Do you see what I mean? Something's got to be done because it can't get any nastier. And I also think as well.
Sorry, Ty, to interrupt you. We can't have no Arsenal fans at the Tottenham Stadium because someone flicked your ear.
I hear that, but to me, I wouldn't want that. But if it can stop the trouble, then I'm all for it. Because I was going to women's game one time. I'm sorry to go for the tandem. I was going to women's game one time and I spoke to Tottenham fans who tried to have a go and I dealt with them verbally. And they were saying, oh yeah, I said, look at your fans being violent. And he said it's passion. I said, passion is not violence.
I'm glad that you mentioned the women and this is to build on what he told you.
Yeah.
That day about how you're just the epitome of a perfect fan.
Well, that's very kind.
Your love for Arsenal stretches far beyond the men's first team.
Absolutely.
Because you go to women's, you go to the youth. I saw you. I went with my friend to a youth game, Arsenal West Ham, and I saw you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
After the game, you weren't with anyone. You were just there to support the team.
Absolutely.
And I saw after the game, you waited for all of the players,
which I was doing.
Not to have a conversation with them or try and be like, oh, I'm tired from Arsenal.
Yeah,
you literally were there to say, well done, mate, good game. Absolutely. And that I was like, oh my God, this guy loves Arsenal.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, Matthew, because I think that they're young, you know, there's not a lot of people there. I just want to show them that, listen, what you are doing, I'll be careful because I'll cry in a minute, it's valued. That's what it is. Anyone that's made a contribution to our football club, I won't say our football club, I'll always be in mind. And that's where you can speak to them before they're lucky enough to go on the big. Absolutely. I mean, I used to watch our women reserve team. They used to play at Rowley Green Road, which is near Bournemouth, but I don't know where they're playing. It's hard. But I used to watch it. It used to be about 14 people. It used to be me, my friends, and family.
But are you conscious of the fact that you are most probably the only Arsenal fan on the planet that goes to all of those games? You know, you are. I'm sat opposite the biggest Arsenal fan in the world. The luckiest.
You're very kind. You're very kind.
No, you are the biggest fan.
Well, if that's true, if that's factually true, that is incredible.
Well, do you see anyone else at these games that you see every time at the youth and the women's youth and women's reserves and under 18s, under 21s? Do you see any?
I don't think so, but that's not to say it doesn't happen. But what I would say, it's not a thing meant to make me say I'm a super. It's just because of the team. Any way I can support the team, I will. That's what it is. You could be right. I wouldn't be so arrogant to say that's true. If it's true, it's amazing. But it's just to support. is to support the team. I mean, I even, without trying to sound big, I even went to watch our under-15s girls team play in Northampton against Manchester United women.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't mind because it's the team. So I will always give the team my support. And I would say, obviously, we're all fans here. I'm very lucky to be a fan of such a fantastic traditional football club. I'm very, very humbled to even be part of it and to go with our fans. And apart from maybe Tottenham, who are very, I think, are very travelling us. We're very, because I know we're very, very civilized. You know what I mean? So I'm happy. I'm happy that I am a fan of such a fantastic football club, and I actually can go as well. So it's fine to give them my support. It's nothing. That's the least they deserve. I was lucky enough to be a turnstile operator hybrid and I'm going to cry again in a minute, from 2002 to 2006. Like I said, I was like a pig in, you know what? I was there for 4 years as a turnstile operator. And when the fans used to come in, I used to say, if it was our fans, good afternoon, good evening, welcome to Highbury, thank you for your support, enjoy the game. And I'm going to nearly cry in a minute. And the fans said, oh yeah, we love that, oh thank you, you made us feel welcome, because I know what it's like to be a fan. I know what it's like to be, I know what, I can start crying. I know what it's like to be a fan. Yeah. So, you know.
How often is that love recognised? Have you ever been recognised by the club or anyone established with the club?
How do you mean?
You had a point that you wanted to make.
Well, I was just going to say.
Yeah.
I watched, I think it was Robbie that was talking about how you managed to develop a relationship with Arsene Wenger himself.
Yes, that's right. And funny enough, sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Big Robbie up, but not Big Robbie now. Big Robbie up, but he actually, to be fair, he actually thought, which is interesting, he thought I was actually lying, which I cannot believe. He actually thought I was actually lying, that I used to speak to him. Yeah, sorry.
But tell us more about how it developed, and also if there's any other stories of people of a similar ilk.
It is amazing. With Arsene, it was amazing because when he came in, I think it was around the marbled horse, and we spoke to him, and he's very humble. But what it was, we used to wait for him. There's people that used to wait for him longer than me. We used to wait for him every game. It used to be a thing, and he'd always, 99% of the time, he would stop. And not only would he stop, very, very friendly, very, very humble, very, very intelligent. He could talk to you about any subject. Yeah. But he was
in any language.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. We only know a couple, but he knows about 5. You know what I mean? But no, he was brilliant, and it got to the point that there was sometimes we'd wait for him, Champions League games, maybe 1 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and he said, "I can't believe you're still here." He was absolutely brilliant, but it was just circumstance. It wasn't meant to be like that. We didn't say, "Oh, we're going to talk to Arsene," but it just developed so much so that he's the only manager that we used to speak to regularly.
Trust me, they all know you.
Oh, you're very
for a fact. They all know you.
That's very kind. That's very kind.
They do, because you're so.
I can start crying in a minute.
It's just you've been around. You're one of the first to do this, Robbie. You started this thing, and Robbie, over the years, phones have become more accessible, content's become more accessible, and you haven't moved. You've just only gone up, and you've only been shown more. You know what I mean?
Can I ask a question just in case we move on from like somewhat AFTV and all of that? You said about right at the start. You said you never really are going to know that you're part of something that has such a projection whilst you're on it.
It's an unbelievable platform. The platform is unbelievable, and the reason why I say that is people I've been told that don't even know about football know about me. I mean, I'll give you an example. I was outside the supermarket, which I will not name, and there was some nice looking woman with respect said, "You're that guy from AFTV." I was thinking, am I candid camera? What's going on there? I was thinking, what? I was thinking, am I dreaming? It was actually, we said, "Oh, you're that guy from AFTV." Randomly, out of nowhere. I don't think I even had colours on. She said, "Oh, you're that guy at AFTV." Or when it was in Newcastle, there was some lovely woman walking on. I said, "Oh, you're that guy from AFTV." It's just unbelievable.
You don't realise how many people actually see it. When you see something gets 1 million views, you're like, "Oh, wow, 1 million views." Do you know how many people? 1 million people.
I can't believe it. It's incredible. Like I said, it's very humbling. It's an honour, privilege, but it's very surreal. Something that I'll put it this way. It's like, I was going to say a film. What film am I going to say? Is it like Groundhog Day?
Groundhog Day.
Two was I was going to say. It's like, I'm going to dream. Oh, it's just I knew it was a dream. Because that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it's real. It feels like I'm going to wake up. Oh, it was just a dream. That's how it feels. I think Nelly had that. It was just a dream.
Strip Arsenal away from your life for a moment. What makes you happy?
Well, my family. If my family's okay, then I can deal with anything as long as my family's okay. What makes me happy is trying to be a good person, try to live a good life, try to be healthy, just trying to do things in the right way, in a respectful way, you know. Yeah. And basically trying to have no stress as well.
So if there's no, it's not football. A match day and there's no, you're not doing any filming or anything, what does the day in your life look like? Well,
I have to be careful because I can't really mention the stations. Basically listen to 80s songs because I'm an 80s man.
You just listen to 80s songs all day?
Well, every day, yeah. There was a channel, app.
Go on, Sam, list off a few.
No.
Absolutely 80s.
You're like a Motown man.
No, that's
Is that 60s, not the 80s?
No, 80s is Adam Man.
Is that
Haircut
not the
100, Simple Minds and all that. But I'm an 80s man. So basically, I listen to absolute 80s every single day except Saturday with... Obviously, I won't try and plug them, so I would say other channels available with the fantastic series. Basically, my day starts from about 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. 80s tunes, bang.
No. 9 o'clock will be the golden hour on Gold Radio. Other stations are available. And also at the same time...
You're very democratic. I like that when you mention a station, you say, but other stations...
Because, and he always bigs them up as well.
I like it. Rachel, you're giving the autonomy of the viewer. You can... I am mentioning this, but you can go somewhere else if you please.
Well, you have to, innit? Because then I'll be plugging them, isn't it? But I love that Helen's laughing so much. Yeah, so basically... Continue. Thank you. So basically, it will be listening... I'll listen to news. I'll listen to the sports news, obviously, with that channel. I listen to news, but my radio listening starts from 9 and finishes at 4. Yeah. Then starts again at 6 and finishes at 8, and then starts again at 10 and finishes at 1 o'clock.
Wow.
That's basically it. Yeah.
So you just listen to radio?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I train in radio. Every time I go to a match day, I have to be careful what I say, so I don't mean no disrespect. I would feel naked if I don't have my radios on me.
Is that what your headphones are on?
So so you're listening always to the radio in your headphones?
I'm listening to something, unless the game is not going too well. Because basically, like I said this on AFTV, like on Sunday now, the chart show, there was 4 chart shows, I think, on Sunday. There was the Absolute 80s chart with Sarah Champion. There was the...
but you can watch others.
Absolutely. Obviously, other channels are available. There was the Nation chart with legend Neil Fox, big him up, 3 years. There was the Smash Hits chart show with the fantastic Kate Fulton on Greatest Hits Radio, obviously other DJs and stations available. And then there was Pick of the Pops on BBC Radio 2 with Mark Goodyear, obviously other radio stations and other DJs available. So I would list all of them. So basically, it was 3 o'clock. The game started at 3. I went to our women yesterday. So basically, on my way there, I was listening to Capital Extra Reloaded. I listened to that from 2 o'clock. So basically, when the game started now, I was at the game. I was listening because the game started at 2:30. I waited until there was a break in the station for Capital Extra Reloaded. Obviously, other station available. So I turned it off. So I waited till half time when the game was on. Then I put it back on again to listen to Absolute 90s chart. Then I turned it off when there was a break. So basically, what it is that before football, I'll be listening to radio stations. But if the game is progressing and there's a break, then I just turn it off and concentrate on the football. Not that I can't concentrate, but yeah, there's half time, I put it on. So basically, if there's a game at, let's say we got Fulham at 5:30. If that was on a Sunday now, I'll be listening to all the chart shows and I'll wait till there's a break to see them.
So what's your favourite song ever?
Oh my gosh. That's a fantastic question, but that's very, very hard. Well, it depends. You have to
all right, even if it's not, what came to your mind when I said that?
Well, obviously, it'd have to be, you can't get better than good old Arsenal. I've got to say that.
That's your favourite song ever?
Well, it's got to be on. No, it's got to be on there.
That's your favourite song ever?
In football terms. Not
ever. No, not football.
It's really hard. I'm going to cry in a minute. There's really hard songs like Hands to Heaven by Breathe.
Do you like a lot of old school black music?
Well, absolutely. But I'd say I'm anything 80s. You know what I mean? So
all 80s.
Anything.
So like
80s.
Marvin Gaye?
Marvin Gaye, yeah.
Is Marvin Gaye not Motown?
Motown, I like him, but I'm anything 80s.
The Flamingos?
80s. Flamingos, not really.
No?
They're not 80s, are they?
I think they're a bit old school.
All right.
Yeah. What's your favourite song? Because I want to listen to it now.
I don't know about the favourite song. There's
favourite band, favourite group?
It's hard. It depends because there's a pop, rock, and hip hop.
Michael Jackson?
Absolutely. Well, obviously, if we can mention his name, you know.
We can mention his name.
Okay. Yeah,
He's a legend.
The music.
Yes.
He's a legend.
Dirty Diana.
Dirty Diana is your favourite.
Unbelievable song.
Unbelievable.
Guitar riff, what an absolute incredible song. You know, you want to be starting something. You Are Not Alone.
Oh,
you know.
He sings it well.
Do you see what I mean?
Do a little bit.
No.
Do a little bit.
No, I don't.
If I sing it, would you sing it with me?
Yes, I will.
Another day's gone. I'm still all alone. How could this be? You're not here with me. You never said goodbye. Someone tell me why. Did you have to go and leave my world so cold? Okay, so you like your music.
I do that. And sorry to interrupt. I also mention another incredible Michael Jackson song.
Yeah.
What is it? The one Human Nature.
Yeah, it's a great one.
These songs.
It's very easy listening, that one.
But these songs
is that the
No, that's
Earth Song. That's
Earth Song. Human Nature's
Heal the world.
That's what
Human Nature's reaching out.
Okay.
Well, you know SWV, they sampled that on Right Here. That was an incredible.
Michael Jackson has got so many
song.
bangers.
And also there was the one Farewell My Summer Love as well.
So this was a question that I had for you. What is your favourite ever Arsenal moment? One that you just reminisce.
Been there or not been there?
Both.
Well, not being there, it's got to be Anfield 89.
Yeah.
That is just like a surreal, incredible dream. But being there was, I'm going to cry again, is watching the Invincibles. And not only that.
Which particular moment?
Well,
you know, if you could relive a day.
Well, winning at White Hart Lane was amazing. Because if we get the backdrop, we wanted to win. And we drew 2-2. And Tottenham fans were cheering. It didn't dawn on them, we'd won the league.
Yeah.
But even this is what I'm saying about the violence thing. After the game, it all kicked off. They were waiting for us. But what it was that it was so funny because they were cheering and said, but we won the league. We stood, we waited there for hours. But also, we waited for hours. But one surreal moment, and it was a time when we thought this was up, was when we were 1-1 with Portsmouth. I don't know who scored. I think it was Ibeni Yakubu, my country.
By the way,
scored.
Perez cheated that day.
Yeah, he did. So did Ruvan cheat himself. So did Ryan Giggs. So did David Beckham.
Yeah,
so
it's fair, but we have to admit that.
No, we would admit it, but that's what we would admit that. But it's like he's the only one. The other cheats now, like Ruud van cheat himself, don't get mentioned. You know.
Ruud van cheat what?
Cheat himself. This is what I'm saying. That's the nice way of calling him because I know people used to say worse.
Yeah.
But I'm being nice. There was a man. Have you ever heard of a person called Richard Prohaska?
No.
Absolutely. You wouldn't because he's nobody. But he nearly broke Patrick Vieira's leg at Carlisle when we won 1-0, when we got to the FA Cup final.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. Our sense at the time, he was lucky he got up. But people don't remember. I remember that because I was there. That's what I'm about the knowledge because I'm there. He didn't even get a red card, and the thing is, he was going around celebrating like he did something good. And at the end of the day, at the end of the game, he had the guts to ask Patrick for his shirt. He just threw it to us. That's what, he could have broken Patrick. Or Dan Smith, you know who he is?
Nope.
He's the one that clattered Vasariki Abdiaby at the end of the game of Sunderland.
Well, is there anything that you've ever said on air that you look back and think, maybe that was a bit ridiculous?
Absolutely, and that was done recently, and that was calling the referee a cheat. That was really wrong, and I take that back because I should never ever call a referee a cheat. I think there are agendas and there were questions, but to call a referee a cheat is very wrong, and that was done recently on AFTV, and I take that back. I think that was really ridiculous and wrong, and I should never say that.
Do you think Mike Riley cheated? Boy,
listen. I have to be careful what I say, but listen. If he didn't, there was something wrong going on that day. And funny enough, you're bringing me onto so many talents, which is a fantastic thing. I remember that day, I was lucky enough to go to the game, saw the cheats. On that day, there used to be goodness to come on the coach, which I go, they don't come anymore. You know what they told me? And it all happened. This is what I'm saying. This is how terrible it was. It all happened. It was like a foresight in the future. They said their cousins were Manchester United. They said, this is what their cousin predicted. It's going to be 2-0 to Manchester United and one's going to be a penalty. And that's exactly what happened because Mike Riley had a record of 9 penalties in 9 games for Manchester United. And that day,
it wasn't even the penalty. It was they should have had 2 red cards.
Yeah, get the Nevilles, Gary, and Phil
Reyes. Reyes was getting clattered out there.
Not only that, Ruud van cheating himself, stamping on Ashley's knee. Disgrace for Ashley, by the way. Stamping on his knee in front of the linesman. Linesman giving a throw in. Rio taking out Freddie as the last man, and Mike Riley said play on.
Yeah.
Gabriel H as well, who's now our coach, so I'll big him up. Elbowing Edu in the head. It was unbelievable. That is the
worst refereeing performance ever.
Absolutely, and 8 made decisions when Manchester United win.
What's your? Do you have a 5-year plan where you'd like to be in 5 years, or would you like to be doing the same sort of thing?
Wow, a 5-year plan. Well, listen.
Do you mind me asking if you have a love life or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I can't answer that. Sorry, I can't answer that. Sorry.
Is there too many? You don't want to let them down.
Listen, I can't. Listen, you got my agent in the room, so I can't say anything. The funny thing is, to be fair to her, she does know the truth, so she knows what I'm saying.
Are you on the apps?
No, I'm not in any.
You keep it old school.
I can't really say anything about it for good reason. But what was he talking about before? A 5-year plan.
5 year.
Listen, the 1 year plan. I don't know. I can't look at 5 years. I just look at the season. What I would say is that it's unbelievable. I thank Allah God. I'm sorry to keep on going. I thank my parents for this incredible privilege, this platform that I'm lucky enough to have. I hope I'm using it in the right way. I hope I'm coming over as polite, friendly, cheerful, not disrespectful, very, what's the word? Very, I wouldn't say humble, because humble's too humble to say that. Very humane. I hope I come across like that. And hopefully to carry on doing what I'm doing. Listen, if I get anything from it, it's great. But the main thing for me is if the team, obviously, apart from my family, obviously, my family is the most important thing. As if they're happy, I'm happy. As long as the team are winning, anything else that comes from it is an absolute blessing. Like I said, it's incredible that to be sitting here with you two and with Helen as well. And to be doing this, it's just amazing. But like I said, the main thing is if the team are winning, then anything else is secondary. Plans, I know, I'm sorry, it's a roundabout way to answer. I don't know. I mean,
you're just going with the flow.
Going with flow. But well, if you say that, I don't know how much I can say. The biggest plan in football is me to be going to watch every one of our teams equally. So that's our first team men, home and away, Champions League. That's our first team women, home and away, Champions League. And that's our under 21s, home and away, Champions League.
You're unbelievable.
If I can do that, and also, thank you, unbelievably lucky, and also get to watch, one thing I want to do now, and it was a bit surreal because they seemed to know who I was even then before AFTV, was go and watch our under 21 women's team as well. Because I don't get to watch them enough and I don't even know where they play.
How would you like to be remembered? Please God, in a long time. We'll give you 45 years.
God forbid. Well, thank you. Obviously all of us here as well, and all the good, decent people in the world. Remembered, you mean for football terms? Or
how would people, when you're no longer here, which is a long way away.
Hopefully.
Please God.
Please God for everyone.
When people talk about you,
yeah,
what would you like them to say about you?
Well, that's a great question.
Because I can tell you what I would say.
Yeah, well, okay.
I would say, and especially now that we've sat down for a little bit and we've got to know each other, I would say the guy is filled with love.
I'm gonna cry again.
Filled with love,
and you're literally you are literally the same as when you watch you. Like you can tell it's that authenticity coming through. You are what what it says on the tin.
Unapologetically yourself, and also. So, I'm very perceptive.
Yeah.
Ilmi, our producer, opens the door. Thank you very much. Ilmi moves the mic. Thank you very much. So polite and so caring.
Thank you.
Honestly, I mean this.
Yeah.
And you light up a room, Ty, and I think that you're a great human being, and you show a lot of love to your football club.
Absolutely.
And you spread nothing but positivity, even if at times it might seem like, okay, maybe you should take the lid off a little bit and give us a little bit of criticism, but that's just not in your blood.
And that's what people have said, and that's why, because to me, I don't have time to be criticising the team. I just want it to be positive. But you say that, thank you very much, but like I said, I thank Allah God. It's my family upbringing. It's what I've seen. It's what I've seen growing up, what I've seen from my family. You know, it's the product of somebody that's had a settled childhood and a settled family life. That's why I can do that. If I didn't have a settled childhood or settled family, I couldn't be like that. The person I am is the product of the family I'm lucky enough to have. And if I've been lucky enough to do that, why can't I then embrace it more? Why do I have to be rude? Why do I have to be arrogant? Why do I have to be disrespectful?
Yeah.
To people that I don't know, you know, who am I to start looking down on people? No, you know, who am I? I always say, Robbie said to me one time I was stressed, I said, being homeless is stressed. I've never been homeless, thankfully. Doesn't mean I can't have empathy for people on the street.
Sam, when this goes out there and people watch this and someone says to you, how would you describe Ty? How would you describe the man sitting there?
Everything you expect him to be and more. Like,
oh, that's very kind.
In terms of that, you expect him to be nice, well-mannered, good-hearted.
Thank you.
And he is that and more to the nth degree.
Wow.
Ty,
the world is a much better place with you in it.
Yeah. And you too, thank you. You're very kind, man. Don't worry, man. But listen,
he doesn't nearly compliment me this much.
Thank you for your time. It is such a full circle moment. I watched you growing up, and to be here sat beside you is a really cool moment for me, and I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you at games for the rest of this year. I think this is our year, and hopefully we can celebrate together.
Let's hope so. And you've done really well, Matthew, because not only did I start, you've ended it off by saying Right Beside You, which was by Sophie B. Hawkins. Brilliant. Absolutely.
You're the man.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for letting me have you.
Thank you
for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for allowing to be there. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. God bless.
Peace.
Thanks, Ty.
Well, thank you. That was incredible.